Hi, I'm Josh Bowman, Product Manager for QxControl, and in this video we're going to discuss using QxControl on mobile devices. In this section we'll discuss both some tips and best practices to enhance your mobile experience when using QxControl. But first, let's talk about how QxControl is a progressive web app and what that means for you. So QxControl using a progressive web app approach means that QxControl will detect the OS and browser that you're using, as well as the size of the viewing area for your device. And that makes it much easier to use the same app on many different devices and operating systems. This also means for you that you're going to have the same experience whether you use an Android or an iPhone, or whether you use a PC or a Mac. So it makes it easier for you to learn and to use our software. This also means that our development teams can move a lot faster. In the past, a traditional approach was that you had to create a piece of software individually for a Mac environment, for a Windows environment, as well as the different mobile options. And in this case, we can build one app that works on all. We believe that progressive web apps are the future of software development, and they're already becoming quite common. And of course, QxControl has been built using all of the modern methods and technology in terms of building software, so we have also taken this approach. However, we do understand most users are still accustomed to the process of going to the App Store for their device, searching for the mobile app, and using it that way. However, with us, because we're using the PWA approach, you will not find a mobile app for QxControl in your App Store. So let's talk about how we deliver a similar experience that you're accustomed to. First, understand that both Android and iOS support PWA, but you will only be able to save a home screen icon using the preferred mobile browser for each, typically on a mobile device. So starting with iPhone for Apple, that preferred browser is going to be Safari. So in order to get started with QxControl, what you're going to do is open up Safari. You're going to go to app.qmux.io, and then the first time you're going to open it up and have to enter that address manually. And then you authenticate just like you do, like you learned in other lessons, is how to do that on a desktop, providing your credentials. Once you are in, at the bottom of your screen, you'll have the share menu, which looks like a box with an arrow coming out of the top. And in those menu options, what you're going to choose is add to home screen. You can also provide a custom name for that icon. That's very helpful if you have multiple scopes or environments that you're using QxControl. And once you've done that, you will see that there is now an icon on your wallpaper. So this is going to look and feel very much like using a mobile app moving forward. Now on Android, this is going to be pretty similar. Difference is the preferred browser on most Androids will be Chrome. So you will need to download Chrome, and then you will repeat the same procedure of manually logging in. However, Android makes it even easier because it sees that you're using a PWA, and it's going to offer you the opportunity to add to home screen just by clicking on it. So that makes the process very, very easy. Now, once you've saved that PWA extension, and once you enter through that icon on your wallpaper, whether it be an iPhone or an Android, you're going to see that all the same features are there, and QxControl will automatically scale that app to fit the size of your screen. So another thing you're going to notice on mobile now is that when you log in, regardless of the layout type you have, all of the widgets will be aligned vertically on your mobile device. This is something we call the stacked view. So the reason we do this is, if you see the two examples on your screen here, we're looking at the same saved view. The view on the left is stacked, so you can see that the images are much larger, the aspect ratio is properly maintained. On the right hand, you can see that that view really is optimized for a desktop, and as we use that on a smaller device, such as my iPhone 12 in this case, and you can see it's a little harder to see. So what we do is we align them vertically, and then we allow you to scroll up and down vertically to work through the various widgets. Another thing you will notice then is as you scroll vertically up and down to reveal the widgets, you'll see that they are paused, and then as they are revealed on your screen, then they resume. We of course do this to help maintain the performance of your mobile device. Now, specific to iOS devices here, so this is your iPhone, your iPad, you'll have another option to help tailor the performance of QxControl on your mobile device. You might choose this option if you feel that the device is moving a bit sluggish, or if you happen to see this warning message at the bottom of your screen that's telling you that your device is at its performance limit. So this option I'm referring to is the ability to adjust the number of workers that are utilized on your device. And the way that you change this is to click on the user avatar on the bottom left of your QxControl screen, and then that will reveal the various user options. So you would click on Settings, and then under User Settings, you will see an option for Video Player CPU Thread Limit. Sounds complicated. All you need to know is we have various thresholds set based on the generation of iPhone that you have. So this helps you understand what setting is most likely going to fit for you. Another thing you can do is if you prefer the standard view instead of the stacked view, at the top of your screen there, you see the stacked icon. You can actually click on that and you can return to a traditional view. If you like to use the standard view, you might want to consider using some views that are mobile friendly in terms of the layout that they were built with. So for example, 1x1 of course works great, but we also have the 1x2, the 1x3, and the 1x4. These layouts were made specifically for mobile devices and do a much better job of maintaining the aspect ratio. If you create some mobile-friendly views in advance and save them ahead of time, it makes it much easier. So when you leave the office and then you pull it up on your phone, you can automatically just choose one of those pre-saved mobile-friendly views. As you can see, again, that makes much better use of your viewing area. So you have two options there. Stack view will happen by default. You can also come in and you can change that and use the standard view. So another thing I like to point out is, there are some swipe gestures and other things that you can do in PWA that makes life easier. One that is commonly missed is, when we go from the traditional browser-based interface, now we're using this PWA app. You no longer have the forward and backward button that you typically have. So many people think they're kind of stuck or they have to return to home. Those types of things, you can actually use a swipe gesture forward and backward to work through the app. And then the last tip that I have for you today is that you can also use something we call the cycle cameras feature, and that works best with a 1x1 layout. So if you're using a 1x1, you can choose the cycle cameras button, and that will actually just continue to cycle you through all the available cameras that are in your scope. So where, of course, that is different than stacked view, is stacked view will present you with a number of widgets that are assigned to the saved view that you are using. In this case, all of the available cameras at your scope, you will cycle through all of those. So that's a very good way, if you get an alert, to just quickly work through all of the cameras to find what you're looking for. Thank you very much for your time, and this concludes the section on mobile best practices. Thank you.